Happy New Year!
What's up, cool kids?
Yeah, we out here teaching, showing God's love to everyone that we're reaching. Don't forget we'll be here for the Wednesday Live. Come on out, we know how to have a good time.
Happy 2021, everybody! You did it! I feel like we should get a trophy, a certificate, something to say that we all survived 2020. 2021 is gonna be awesome! I might have said that last year too. So, we don't know. We don't know, but we have Jesus, we have each other, so it's gonna be awesome. 2021, bank on it. It's a new year, and so we're starting a new series called You Are What You Love. Based on a book I recently read called You Are What You Love by James K. Smith. Shout out to James K.A. It's kind of a baller move when you have two middle names. Can we just say that? I'm gonna unpack this more tonight at our kickoff youth service, but I wanted to go ahead and give an intro to the series as a whole. So the main point of the series is exactly what the title says. You are what you love. It means that your identity, who you are, it's made up in your desires, the things that you want and love. Sometimes we think that it's our thoughts or our beliefs that make up who we are, right? But we're not some sort of robot who just does exactly what it's programmed to do. Even our brain is not always rational. We react to things. We do things because we want to do them, even if maybe it's not really the rational choice. And this kind of tracks with what the Bible says, because in Proverbs 4:23, it says that we should guard our heart. Because why? Why should we guard it? Because out of it flows our life. So we flow out of our desires in our heart. Think about that imagery, a waterfall. The water flows because it chooses to flow. No, it just flows because that's what it has to do. It's just flowing out. And imagine that with our desires in our heart. Your life is made up of what is flowing out of your heart. James K. Smith says this: we're not thinking things primarily, we're more like desiring things. We are people who are shaped by what we want. And this tracks with what Jesus said too in John chapter 1 verse 38. He goes to who are about to be his disciples, and he asks them this question: what are you looking for? That's kind of another way of asking, what do you want? Right? Jesus is saying, what do you want? Do you want me? Do you want to follow me? Sorry, I kind of yelled that. I don't know why I yelled that. I don't know why I started yelling. Jesus is asking them, what do you really want? I think that's a question that he's still asking you and me today. What do you want? What's in your heart? What are your desires? Christianity is about faith, absolutely. But faith is not just an intellectual thought. Faith is not just what we think in our head. Faith might be actually a lot more about desire and hunger and thirst than it is about like rational decision making. You could think all sorts of wonderful things about God and yet be extremely far from him in your life. Think about all the times that you've wanted to get fit, right? We're in a new year, everybody tries to get fit, and think about how many times you've thought, you know what, I need to make the healthy choice, and then you find yourself eating a pizza later that night, right? We can think things, but our life is really made up of out of what we desire. So this series is about our desires and matching them up with the person of Jesus. Now that's not a boring thing. If you heard that and said, wow, that sounds boring, I don't want to be, super religious. No. This is the most exciting thing that you could do, because when your desires match up with the person of Jesus, you've discovered the thing that you were absolutely meant for, created for even. Jesus shows us the best life to the full, desires to the full. So here's the main point of the series, is that you are what you love. You're shaped by your desires. But here's the progression that we're going to take. Your life is shaped by your habits. Your habits are shaped by your character. Your character is shaped by the stories in your life, and your stories are shaped by your community. So tonight at our youth service, we're gonna unpack our habits. Next week, we'll talk about our character. The week after that, we're gonna talk about the stories that shape us. And lastly, we're gonna talk about the community that tells the stories. So here's a few questions to think about before tonight. What do you love? What shapes your desires and your loves? Because we are what we love, and that depends on our habits and our characters and our stories in our communities. This is what we're going to talk about in our series. Happy New Year, everybody. Make sure you keep up with this new series, and I will see you tonight.